Welcome back to Talking Dragon Age, the show where I talk about Dragon Age. Today, we finally investigate the mighty Titans. The descent left us with far more questions than answers, and I feel like this is a puzzle that's missing half its pieces, and what we're left with are scattered all over the place. But we can't let that stop us, can we? So let's start at the beginning. Back in Dragon Age Origins, we were introduced to the modern Dwarven society. We learn about their fallen empire and the deep roads, and we learn about their religion. We learn how they honor their ancestors who live on in the stone. The question is, what is the stone? In the Codex, the stone is described as literally being the stone that surrounds them. The earth, essentially. Now, at face value, this all makes sense. Dwarves live underground, their religion reflects that. But in classic Dragon Age fashion, nothing can ever just be normal.
Some things are exactly as they appear.
Shut up. When has that ever been true? Anyway, as games go on, they start dropping hints that the stone is more than it appears. I'm sure even the modern dwarves know more than we, the fans, do, but it's up to Bioware what they decide to tell us. So we're really working on scraps of information. Now, I'll come back to the stone. Just be thinking about how there's more than meets the eye here. So let's move on to Lyrium. According to the modern dwarves, Lyrium is a gift from the stone. We know there's a lot more to it than that, though. We know that it's the primary source of magic for the people of Thedas. But there's even more than that. I take this directly from the World of Thedas, Volume 1, page 39. In its raw form, Lyrium emits a strangely soothing sound that some call the voice of the Maker. The Chantry claims the mineral is a remnant from the birth of the world, when the Maker created the land and skies. They believe Lyrium is not so much the essence of magic as the essence of all of creation. Lyrium's appearance in the Fade suggests it somehow bridges the gap between the Dreamer's world and the waking world of Thedas. Makes sense to me. Whether or not one would believe in the Maker, Lyrium still seems to bridge the waking world to the Fade. In Awakening, Justice describes Lyrium as summoning an ache he didn't know he had. I think this is making sense. But wait! There's more!
Can you tell me more about how the Templars feel to you?
They feel older than they look. They've been changed, and their bodies are incomplete now. The Lyrium helps, but their bodies always want to connect to something older, bigger than they are. That's why they block magic. They reach for that other thing, and magic has no room to come in. Like when I listen to Varric.
What is he talking about? Well, it seems to me like he's talking about the Titans. Or maybe the stone.
Yes. Dwarves rarely draw the attention of spirits, possibly because of your ties to the stone.
Okay, let me see if I got this straight. The Templars use Lyrium to connect to the Titans or the stone. The dwarves are already connected, and by connecting to the Titans, they're connected to Lyrium. Lyrium connects to the Fade, but the dwarves don't? And mages naturally connect to the Fade, and Lyrium can help strengthen that connection. But normal people connect too, as evidenced by the fact that they dream. But when they take Lyrium, they reach for the Titans so they can block magic, hence the Templars. I assume it has something to do with their training before they take Lyrium, but how? And they still dream. Look!
No. Leave me. Leave me.
Bad dream.
They always are. Without Lyrium, they're worse.
Whatever, I'm done. Lyrium is whatever the plot says it is at the time. It just works, just believe it. Okay, moving on. Freaking Dragon Age. The Descent. Let me first address some more confusion I had towards the end. The Inquisitor says,
We can't see the Titan because we're inside it.
Okay, awesome, but what? For how long? just the wellspring? I mean, it clearly has its own unique ecosystem. What about when we went down that elevator, and Volta feels that we'd gone past the deep roads? Is that when we entered the Titan? Or were we in it the entire time? Well, if Lyrium is the Titan's blood, it should be that last option, but it's not. At least I don't think. It's the second one. I think this is because the stone existed first, and the Titans came to be within the stone, drawing life from Lyrium. So what does this make the Dwarves? At the end of the descent, Volta gains a direct connection to the Titan, which grants her special powers. However, she seemed different. Like, she was still her, but also more. And this brings me to Kieran.
You were very short. Mother didn't say you were a dwarf.
You caught me. And I was trying so hard to be taller.
But you can't be taller. Not without the Titans.
And that, of course, leads to Dagna.
There's something there. I was face deep in a rune, and for a moment, I was tall. Really tall. And I thought all the thoughts.
You felt taller. How much taller?
Like mountain tall. Or I was the mountain. But I was moving. I felt dizzy. You know what I remembered? Watching a shaper it carve the wall of memory, except big. Isn't that weird? Maybe there were fumes.
What do you mean when you say, thought all the thoughts?
I don't know. As if for a moment I was around all my people, and my thought was all of theirs.
Your thoughts were their thoughts.
No, my thought was all of our thoughts, like parts. Ugh, words are mush. Maybe that's what the stone feels like. Or we think it feels like. If we think it feels. Creepy.
What this seems like to me is that she, for a brief moment, interfaced with a Titan. The thing that really stands out to me here is that her single thought was all of her people's collective thoughts. What this sounds like to me is that the dwarves connected to a Titan can hear and feel each other's thoughts as their own, as though the Titan is a hive mind. What does this make the dwarves? Was there a time that all dwarves were connected?
The stone, still there, silent and reaching up for the blood that walks. No dreams with the cord cut.
So is the veil what separated them? Or was it maybe the Evanuris when they struck the Titans down? This codex entry says Mythal fought the Titans, but at the end... What the Evanuris in their greed could unleash would end us all. Let this place be forgotten. Let no one wake its anger. The people must rise before their false gods destroy them all. And it doesn't end here. Cole has plenty to say about this.
Songs screaming far away. It wants to wake up but can't remember how. No one should be here. They made bodies from the earth, and the earth was afraid. It fought back, but they made it forget.
The Titans aren't dead. They're asleep, or something like it. The breach awoke one, and it didn't calm down until it connected to one of its children, Volta. But then, what are the Shabertal? According to one of the memory walls Volta translates, the Shabertal were meant to watch over the Titan until it stirred. They somehow harnessed enough lyrium to weave it into their armor and bodies without dying or going insane. Well, maybe they are insane. Who knows? Well, Volta knows, but no. I'm gonna stay here and not talk to anyone, because I'm the princess of the earth. But there is one recurring theme here that I can't ignore. The Shabertal weave lyrium into themselves. They drink lyrium from the wellspring. The walls indicate that they do this to become pure. But they aren't pure. Only Volta is.
The Shabertal killed Lieutenant Wren. and they're still down here. Aren't you afraid?
No. I am pure. I can defend myself.
They aren't connected. The Codex entries from after the quest confirm that they and Volta are separate. As I did more research for this episode, the idea of dwarven purity kept coming up. I might bring that up in a later video, but for now, there's still more to say about the Titans.
Dwarves are the severed arm of a once mighty hero, lying in a pool of blood, undirected. Whatever skill at arms it had, gone forever. Although it might twitch to give the appearance of life, it will never dream.
I mentioned earlier the idea that the Titans were hive minds that the dwarves once connected to.
So Tranquil and Dwarves are linked to Lyrium, but also not linked.
Like the Lyrium needs to flow, but if you're part of it, it takes you with it. So you can't be part of it. That makes me sad. I'm not sure why. It seems like we should be part of it. Whatever it is. Or maybe we're the ones who make it happen. Whatever it is.
It's singing. A they that's an it that's asleep, but still making music.
But still, there's more. We've established that Titans are massive beings of stone given life by Lyrium. Sound familiar? Look at this thing. Is it just me, or does this look like a golem being cut down? But golems aren't all. The Deep Roads house many things that were meant to be forgotten. Doors never meant to be reopened. And Lyrium, in some form or another, gives them life. So what does all this mean? Ultimately, I think it means that the Titans derive life from Lyrium, and long ago, the Titans served as hive minds of the Dwarves. That's all I can say for now. There is more to all of this, a lot of noteworthy things that I regret I can't talk about just yet. So, until next time, be sure to leave a comment and subscribe if you want to see more. That's it for now, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and remember, Tala Nadas.
You know what's frustrating? Answers that aren't answers. Blah.